All right, bingo, we got action. Shalon, your mic is muted. So today's segment on our good Friday here is going to be what are you watching? This is episode 5, coming straight to you from Miss Hunt and Mr. Ott. I don't have Mr. Hot, so I got another Miss Hunt. I tried my other Zoom buddies over here, but you can see that they're not compliant today. Guess they're tired. They maybe boogied a little too much last night. But we're gonna go ahead and get started over here. So you heard in the president's message yesterday, something to the effect of watch the news but turn it off. And I mean, I guess that's pretty relevant in this day and age. You can't continue to feed yourself with so much negativity and not have some of the positive. And if you're anything like me, you are a huge TV and movie fanatic. So you have subscriptions to Prime and Hulu and Netflix and Tubi and Disney Plus and a barrage of other media outlets and streaming devices, and some of those not so legal. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I promise I didn't. But you have those ones that are out there, and everybody has a particular genre of movies that they like. But after we've been sitting in quarantine for approximately 30 days, your list may have started to dwindle down. Maybe you need to figure out something new and different to watch, and you just have no idea what that is. And that is the whole point of this segment. Segment is titled, What Are You Watching? I compiled a list. It's what I'm watching. So I went from 10 down to 1 on my list. So we'll get started. Unfortunately, I know that the other Miss Hunt watches the same thing I do because we compare notes and we tell each other we're about to start watching something different.
However, I have taken it to be my one-man mission on quarantine to watch all of the Marvel movies, not the series. Watch all of the Marvel movies in order. I'm currently on like number 6 within the stratosphere that is the Marvel universe. So last night I watched the first Avengers. So I have to figure out what's next on the list. But there's a list. If you Google it, you can watch the Marvel series in the order that it should have been rather than the order that it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was a Marvel Cinematic Universe is what I use, and I actually did the list with the series. Approximately a year or two ago, I started. It didn't take me long because I didn't rewatch things that I had already seen. I watched the things that I didn't see. Well, I mean, I will, but if I've watched already, I didn't watch it in the right order, doesn't mean it's not complete. So in my lifetime, I will get to the beginning to end with the series, but for now, I just face filled on what I didn't see. But again, that was Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you're interested at all in the Marvel series, with the movies in the order in which they should be watched. What happened with Marvel was they would put productions out with the idea to link the publications, the movies, and the series, but they didn't necessarily do it in the right order when they put them out in publication. So if you go back and look at the complete listing, you'll see that some things are way out of order and some things are probably just where they should be. But I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you do not watch it with the series. The series gives you a lot of insight on a
backstory,
lot of
definitely.
In the movies. Yeah, so I've definitely done it. Again, Marvel Cinematic Universe last time. Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU. They have a whole spreadsheet. It's all kind of slap shots, the series, the movies, any other little tidbits as it relates to the Marvel family. All of that you can catch on this one particular document produced by Marvel. Okay, so let's get right into it. So my list I did in descending order. So I went from a 10 down to a 1, 10 being the not so greatest and 1 being the absolute best thing I've watched thus far. And this and again, we are restricted to just this period of quarantine, not things I've watched ever. All of these things I am either presently watching or I am in the process of getting ready to watch, or I have already watched them and I recommend them to you. So, number 10 on my list is Gotham. Gotham is number 10 on my list because it's an awesome, awesome series. It is just very, very long
Wrong.
and time consuming, just like the Marvel series. So if you are looking for something
Time consuming.
that is just willing to take up a bunch of time, Gotham series is definitely a go-to. You can find that on Netflix, and they actually start from season one. I do implore you, this is not for the faint of heart. Gotham is a very long series. Get your popcorn out. Maybe you want to do it on a rainy day to start it and get pulled in, but it's definitely, definitely worth the watch. You agree?
I agree. 2 thumbs up.
Awesome. Okay, number 9 on my list is Ozarks on Netflix.
I can't give.
Ozarks. What is that? What is that? That's multiple thumbs.
I can't give multiple thumbs up. So you have my one set of thumbs up.
Oh man. Okay, so Ozarks. Jason Bateman is phenomenal in this series. You, if you're, and I'm not gonna tell my age. I promise I'm not, but I guess I do have to. Jason Bateman was the brother of one of the Family Ties, Facts of Life, one of those
Yeah.
series way, way back when.
Late
He was just
80s.
very, very meek, mild mannered guy. You would have never thought that this would have been something that
What
he would
he
have
chose
done.
to do. Right.
Oh man, it's a phenomenal performance. You know what? It's almost the equivalent of Joaquin Phoenix being the Joker, transcended from him as the
What, from the
altruist
line? But
in exactly in love
because he
stories
was
and
in the
different things. But
wasn't he
yes,
Elvis?
yes. Yes, he was. So, I mean, if you have the time, again, Ozark's is only three seasons long. Definitely worth the watch. It is rated, I'm pretty sure, MA,
R.
not R, not no. I think it's past R. I
NC
think
17.
no, I think this the content is a little bit more risque. It's definitely violent. Don't watch it with the children, please. As a matter of fact, I will go out on a limb and say nothing that is on my list do you watch with kids. But I will do this segment again, and if you
We're
have
gonna do
children, I
Disney
would
movies.
love see, and if you have children, I would love to visit one of those. But I don't have children. I only have fur babies. So my kids list is very very minimal. Number nine, excuse me, number 8 on my list is a series that just came out, and it's called Unorthodox, about a Hasidic
Oh
Jew
my gosh.
female.
Did I tell you I
Yes.
watched that? I watched that.
Okay.
I watched
Let's do it. It's on my list. It's on my list.
really good,
So
really informative.
and it's a tearjerker. That's another one that's not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of risque and touchy subjects and topics
But it's true.
intertwined within that series, but it is based on a true story. You can find that also on Netflix. Again, if you got the time, it's definitely a in succession. So it's probably about 10 to 13 episodes. If even if it's that many, I'm not even sure.
I'm
It's
gonna
on my
look right
screen
now.
right now.
I'm
All right,
gonna look
cool.
right
I'm about
now.
to say I'm playing season one on episode one on my TV right now, just because I went to go look for something in particular and I ended up pulling it up. But the name of the series was Unorthodox, and definitely different from everything else that you're seeing. I know if you're anything like me, you've noticed that they're playing on our I guess insecurities a little is what I'm gonna say, for lack of better terms, when it comes to this pandemic. Okay, it's 4 episodes.
4 episodes, about an hour long each. So you got
Okay, so
about 4 hours worth of
4 hours.
TV. Like you can do it in one day. You can definitely do it in one day. It's worth
But
it.
it's a limited series, and it will continue, yes? Or will it cut off? So I'm just thinking
I
about what series this is.
that I don't know. Like I'm looking at trailers and more, but they're not really giving me if there's going to be a continuation to it.
Okay.
I could see
So
like yeah.
well, no, I mean, well, I have another one that's like that also, and I don't believe that they're going to continue on. I mean, some people don't like the to be vested in such long series. So unorthodox is definitely
Or
something to add to the list, as it's only 4 hours of your time. Another one is Self-Made, and that's actually my number 5. Self-Made is the story of Madam C.J. Walker. the hair phenomenon guru originator, almost, if you will. I won't do
Young breeder.
spoiler alerts, but if you watch it, you'll know why I'm alluding to a certain amount of originality when it comes to Madam CJ Walker. After you're done watching it, we can definitely discuss it. I definitely think it was worth the watch. It was always something that was fascinating to me. She's always been a very fascinating woman to me, just like Madam Curie. I love history. I'm a history buff, so anytime things like that come on, I'm definitely in the wanting to watch, and I definitely add it to my list. So we get to
Number four.
primetime TV. No, don't know. I gotta go back up because I was on number 8 and I skipped down to number 5 just to say that it was a limited series, but it was an awesome limited series. And they concluded, so I don't think that they will give any more. My number 7 is Station 19. Station 19 is my show. I love Station 19. What you got for me? What you got
I
for me,
have
buddy?
to interject. I have to interject only because I believe in watching things within a procession. Station 19 is a spinoff from
Yes.
Grey's Anatomy and Chicago Fire. Like there's a culmination of things going on. And so they do a lot of cross episodes with Grey's Anatomy and Station 19. So if you're a fan of Grey's Anatomy, definitely do yourself a favor and watch Station 19. It's really, 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 really good.
And I did not watch. I know I'm a lot of flack here, and I'm okay with taking this. I am not a Grey's Anatomy fan. I did not watch Grey's Anatomy. It wasn't my thing.
What do you
Yeah, I know all
mean?
about McSteamy and McSexy and Sloan. I know all about all of those people.
You're so
But
old.
Grey's
All of
Anatomy
those.
was,
Oh my gosh, you're so old.
listen, and that's my point of reference for Grey's Anatomy. It's not something that I watched, so it's not something that I watched. I mean, sue me. It wasn't my thing. I watched something else. I'm pretty sure I watched a bunch of other stuff that nobody else watched. So,
Yeah,
but I never watched Grey's Anatomy. And I know that these are spin-offs
crossover shows.
and crossover shows. Right. My number 6, however, is not a crossover show. It is new. The concept is new. The premise is new, and it definitely made my list. Prodigal Son
Oh
is number
yeah,
6 on my list. Bright, uh, to say the very least, it's a psychological thriller. I love psychological thriller. It's probably my favorite genre of movie and TV series. So
and books.
that's and books. So that's probably what I really like about that particular series. Prodigal Son follows the story of a child who comes to realize that his father is the world-renowned surgeon who's a serial killer, narcissistic, psychopathic serial killer. And it turns out that he's the one that turns his father in the first place. And then the story begins, I guess, from the point where he's a kid, but it's telling it from his adult perspective. And they flash back and forth. But a lot of things come to light. A lot of different concepts are brought into play. Different people. And it begs the question of how much can you actually remember. For me, like, as a kid, there's only certain things that I remember, and maybe is jarred by a smell or a particular action or an actual item. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. But the fact that this kid remembers like a lot of these things
Vividly,
growing
vividly.
up that his father did, and it's only as an adult that he can link the two and say,
Right.
hey, this was what the problem was, or this is what was going on, and so this is what was wrong. It's just, man, it's mind blowing.
It's worth.
It's
It's worth.
definitely
It's worth the watch.
gory, but it's gory. It's definitely not PG or PG-13. So you can eat while you watch, but some things are. It's not gruesome and it's not gory, but it is definitely murder
Crime,
and plot
crime
and
syndicate.
crime, all of that. It's definitely up there with the don't watch it with the kids, just because you don't want to expose your children to such
Unnecessary.
things. Right. Number 5 we talked about was Self Made, Madam CJ Walker. You can find that on Netflix. Station 19 and Prodigal Son you can find on Hulu. My number 4 is Hannah. Hannah you can find on Prime. I like the series because I like the movie. The whole thought process behind this superhuman kid child raised in the woods by her. not so father. I mean, you just
One
you gotta
person.
watch the story, and I mean, it's just it's amazing to see the adaptation that one can take on when you're not exposed to a bunch of different things. So this young girl was raised literally in the woods in a cave with this one man, and it was only whatever he knew that he was able to teach her, and a lot of it was self-defense and craftiness and fine artsman and moving without being seen and different things like that. And I remember one of my favorite lines in the series, because it's a series, all of these are series. One of my favorite lines in the series was, um, she says, "Are we going to be here forever?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm never going to leave you." She says, "Well, why are you teaching me all of this fighting stuff if it's going to be just me and you forever here?" And he says, "Because one day I'm not going to be there to protect you." And I was like, "Oh man, that just made the whole series worth it for me." Because I was like, "All right, I had to know too. Like, all right, if you think that you're
What are
going to
you
be safe
teaching
in
me
this
for?
place, what are you teaching me for?" Because they say you get to an age and it's like, she wants to have friends and know what, I guess, kid things are like, even though she's not exposed to them. I guess your subconscious still, pulls on particulars from your DNA, maybe, even if you don't know anything about, real world life and technology and different things like that. I'm pretty sure your imagination and mind wanders. I have dreams all the time about situations, scenarios, concepts that are way past me. I've never encountered them. I have no idea how I even got to them. And there may be a correlation somewhere down the line that says, okay, you dreamed about this because of this, but you don't always have a particular to pull on when it comes to what your mind creates for you to think of, or what your dreams manifest. So again, a good series. It's very, very detailed. Like I found myself rewinding it and watching it over and over again, because I'll get to a point and it's like, wait a minute, I don't quite remember how they got here. Even though I'm sitting and intently watching, I'll get to a point and it's like,
Still
yeah,
miss
no, I got
something.
to go back again.
You
And
still miss
we're in
something.
quarantine. We're in quarantine. What else do I have to do besides start a doggone 1 hour episode over? So we started the episode over, and I'm actually up to, I want to say episode 5, but I want to say that I've also watched every episode maybe 2 or 3 times at this point. So definitely worth the watch. Hannah, again, you can find on Prime. Um, yeah, none of the series that I'm listing are rated PG or PG-13. As far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't let my children watch it. You are well free to
Within
do
your
whatever
right.
it is that you want. That's up to you and your kids and your life. But I wouldn't do it. Okay, so my number 3 is a new series that came out, and I think I like this series because all of my degrees are in law. So For Life, it's a yeah, I watch everything, or I stream everything, because I don't like commercials a whole lot, and I'm actually not sitting up and waiting for the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock time slot. So that's why I watch via a streaming service and not on regular television. So For Life follows the story of a man that has been incarcerated, and he's innocent, and it's a battle with the legal system, as to how he ended up incarcerated, the character witnesses that they had, the evidence that they had, the storyline. It's actually produced by 50 Cent, and he has now become one of the characters in the show. It's a very, very good series. I believe it's definitely a drama, legal drama, but I like the storyline. He not only is an innocent man who is incarcerated and still serving out his sentence, he has also somehow, while being incarcerated, obtained his law degree, and he now fights for inmates that are within the system with him. And that's probably another one of the facets that I like about the series. So For Life, it's a new series. I can't tell you when it comes on. Maybe it's Sunday or Monday. But like I said, I'm not vested into the 8 or 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock slot. If I'm watching something else, then I'm probably not going to stop that to watch that. So I just wait for it to all stream. My number 2, everybody's favorite, been out for 24 seasons. Is it 24 or 19? Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I look forward every single week to watching Law and Order. They never cease to amaze or surprise me. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I say that because like I said, I watch a lot of TV, a lot of movies. I read a lot, but Law and Order will take something straight from the headlines, put their spin on it, and give you a palatable version and a conclusion. And I think that's one of the things that I like about it. No, we all know, life can't be summed up in an hour. You can't kill somebody at 8 o'clock and you're arrested by 8:53 with a sentence of life, and all is right with the world. That's not. It's unrealistic. It's fictitious. But Dick Wolf, the man, does an amazing job at putting the storylines together, ripped, like I said, straight from the headlines. I'm not sure if he will do a poll on the pandemic, but everything else that I've seen, as it relates to people and possibly a special victims scenario or situation, hate crimes, um, just whatever it is, he does an amazing job at snatching it, transforming it, making it very, very palatable. And like I said, every week I look forward to Special Victims Unit. Just, I mean, it's one of my favorite TV shows. It'll probably be always want to be one of my favorite TV shows. And the longevity of it in itself says a lot about the show. So, Law and Order is definitely my number two. Number one for me, drum roll, drum roll. This show, I caught it. I went past it. I saw it. I'm like, oh, I know who that person is. Oh, I know who that person is. No, I'm not ready to watch it. I'm not ready to watch it. Kept bypassing it. Didn't know what it was really about. Never read the details to see what it all entailed. Just one day I was just like, all right, you know what? Let me just jump out there and watch it. My number one, the number one show that I'm watching right now, and the next episode does not come on until I think April 22nd. So we are a little ways off, not too far, but I am giddy in anticipation for the next episode. Is Little Fires Everywhere with Kerry Washington. This
And Reese Witherspoon.
show, every
And
Witherspoon. This show will take you from A to Z on the spectrum of emotions. You don't know who you want to side with. You don't know what position you want to take. Everybody has a great reasoning, rationale, and storyline, and it's only going to be those more personable things that happen to you or that have occurred in your life that's going to have you side with a particular person on a particular stance as it relates to this. But again, this is a drama. It is very risque. It is very not children oriented. Please do not watch this with your children. But parents, young adults, students in a college world, if you need a reprieve, an out, and you just have some free time, please put Little Fires Everywhere on your to do. While we are in this quarantine, it will take you'll forget about the pandemic outside. I promise you that. This show will have you so enthralled that you're telling the kids to go. Don't set the house on fire. Just go. Just go. It's one of those shows. I can't even tell you the storyline because
it unfolds differently. It's still unfolding.
and it's still unfolding.
It's definitely still unfolding.
It just jump right into it. If you have the time and you've liked my list so far, my number one, it was a shocking off for me, so much so that I'll probably go watch it again, just to see the little nuances that I missed. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal series. For Life, Law and Order SVU, and Little Fires Everywhere. I actually watch again streaming all through Hulu. And that concludes my list. So if you have a list or you want to add to my list, you want to go, listen, let's rock out. We got a few more minutes. Let's get
Okay,
going.
so my few more minutes, because I realized in your entire stratus of your list, you didn't have any sci-fi. I like sci-fi.
Okay.
So shows that you might want to watch on a sci-fi level.
Got my pen?
The 100.
I watched the 100, but I watched the 100 in the beginning.
Yeah,
but I
you got to finish it. Really good. The 100. It's on Netflix. Currently, there are 6 seasons of the
Okay.
100, so it's definitely time
I think
consuming. You have time
yeah.
to watch it.
I
Um,
stopped at 2 probably.
my next would be the Vampire Diaries mini
Diaries.
the way that it intertwines. So there are 3 different shows. It's the Vampire Diaries is what you would watch first, and then it would be the originals, and then it would be legacies, and those are 3 different individual shows. So you're gonna
Wait,
get
wait.
it'd be
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries is what you watch first.
Then the originals.
Second would be the originals,
Uh huh.
and third would be legacies, all on Netflix. But those are more vampire-esque, tell a storyline, got a backstory, a lot of history in there, set in New Orleans. I personally love New Orleans. I go every year. Um, but it's definitely the sci-fi component. If you really want to just throw yourself into something else, there's Lock and Key. It's displaying on Netflix right now. I've already finished the first season. There has to be a second season. There's no way possible that there's not a second season. Lock and Key, it's a little juvenile, but not so much to the point where we can't relate and watch it also.
Okay.
Sci-fi, I think that's pretty much it. If I had to like throw 3 out there, and I gave
Okay.
you Vampire Diaries set, I gave you the 100, and I gave you Lock and Key. But if you want my
Okay.
take on more sci-fi, I'm definitely all about sci-fi. I'm all about the vampires and the spaceships and I'm all about. I'm here for it all. So I mean, if you guys want my take on anything else, just definitely chime in, send an email, drop a note, drop a pin. We'll get together. We'll chit chat some more.
Okay. So, because you brought up sci-fi and I covered crime and psychological thriller, I would be remiss if I did not say, as it relates to history. I am a history buff. I did say that. I think my Madam C.J. Walker might have been one of those things that I threw out there, but that's only because of what I'm watching right now. If I said that there was a series that you absolutely have to watch as it relates to history, it would be the Hatfields and the McCoys. I love that series. I don't know what to tell where you can find it. If you give me some time, if you want to know, drop me an email at SLAO at Essex.edu, and I'll definitely have the answer for you as to where. Oh, my zone buddy's up. Um,
No, no.
Drop me a note, and I'll let you know where you can find it. But the Hatfields and McCoys gives you a lot of backstory as it relates to the railroading system and how that all came about. Hey, my other zone buddy. Also, another show that I'm watching that didn't make my list, but it just didn't make my list because I haven't kept up with it, is Outlander. Outlander is a pretty dope series. It's a
Isn't it a
long
remake? It's a
series.
remake. It's a remake though. Outlander came out years ago. If not
Possibly, I'm
Outlander,
not sure.
it was definitely something
It's
along the lines of Outlander. But Outlander, really good
it,
show.
it's a really good show. So Outlander, I am also presently watching. I just don't watch it as intently as I watch these other shows. So my 2 add-ons were the Hatfield and the McCoys and Outlander. Outlander, I know you can find on Netflix. Again, Hatfields and the McCoys, excellent series. I believe I watched it on AMC when I originally watched it, but that doesn't mean that AMC still has it because I watched it a long time ago. But again, shoot me an email, drop a pin, Skype, Ubu, all of that good stuff, and we can continue to grow on this list. We can expand on this list. I would definitely like some more input from the people that have babies and children and young adults to find out what they're watching, and let's get a better and bigger and more comprehensive list.
I definitely watched Onward on Disney Plus.
I saw Onward. I went to the movies to
Uberly
see
cute.
Onward. I went to
Uberly
the movies to see
cute.
Onward. We're not talking about movies yet. We're gonna get back to
Okay,
movies. Movies is another day. All right.
I'm there for it.
Awesome, awesome. So this is Miss Hunt and
Miss Hunt.
signing out to you from the den. Episode 5 completed. See you all soon. Love you and be safe.